and welcome to the recap series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today's session is about major summits. As you already know that this session has been designed for the quick revision and this is the year end and this is the right time to have a quick revision of all the important summits, and we have other session on different topics just like acts and indices and reports, so you can also check out that. So, moving towards the first points of discussion. First of all, we are going to discuss about the 16th BRICS Summit 2024. So, recently what we have seen that 16th BRICS Summit was held in Kazan, Russia, and during this summit, the Prime Minister welcomed the recent agreement with China for the complete disengagement and resolution for border issues by the year 2020. So, where it has been held? So, it has been held in the Kazan, Russia. Kaza also the pronunciation. Here are the important topics and important themes which is related to the BRICS summit. So, there was a discussion on BRICS grain exchange in which they had decided that they will make a grain trading platform. Then they had also discussed on agriculture sector. Russia-Ukraine issue was also discussed. So they had reminded the UN Charter principle, and then mediation proposal, international financial system reform, then big cats conservations, then Western sanctions, unlawful measures, then Palestinian territory, southern Lebanon, and BRICS cross-border payment system, local currencies, trade barriers. So these are the key points of Kazar declaration, which is very important for your examination. Now we'll come to the next one, which is about the BRICS. So BRICS is originally BRIC, and what we can see that first formed informally during the meeting of the leaders of the Brazil, Russia, India and China during the G8, now G7 outreach summit in 2006, and in 2010 South Africa joined, and that's why it has become the BRICS, and it now comprises 9 countries, and they are the member countries: Brazil, China, Egypt, Ethiopia, India, Iran, Russian Federation, South Africa and United Arab Emirates. And the first BRICS summit was held in Yekaterinburg, Russia in 2009. So this Russia is very much important, and this year is very much important that it was first held in 2009. So here we'll discuss the key points of the BRICS formation. In 2006, informal formation of the BRIC at St. Petersburg. Then in 2009, inaugural BRICS summit at Russia. Then 2010, South Africa joined. 2014, 6th BRICS summit in Fortaleza. And 2023, 15th BRICS summit hosted by South Africa. And in January 2024, 4 BRICS member added. So here are the name of the 4 BRICS member, and in examination they can ask question that which of the following countries who are the recent addition of the BRICS. So this is the Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, United Arab Emirates. So now we'll discuss the next one. So before moving to the next one, I want to make that Drishti IAS has several branches across the country. So we have in Prayagraj, Noida, Karol Bagh, Lucknow, Jaipur and Indore. And admissions are open, and this is for the offline batch. So if you have any queries related to such kind of the classes and anything, so you can call on to the number 8010440440. So now we'll come to the next one. Next one is about the Quad Leaders Summit 2024, and the 6th Quad Summit was held in Delaware, United States, and this was the 4th in-person Quad Leaders Summit. And here we'll discuss briefly about the Quad. So this security dialogue is a diplomatic partnership between Australia, India, Japan and the US. So this is very much important that which are the members of the Quad. So we have Australia, India, Japan and the US, and the Quad originated in response to the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, where 4 nations provided humanitarian assistance. So here maybe there can be a question that when was the Quad originated. So here you can remember the timeline of the tsunami. Now we'll discuss the Quad related issues. So here they had discussed on the space, awareness, terrorism, counter-terrorism, health, Quad, health security partnership, pandemic preparedness. Then maritime security, they had also discussed on MATRI, IPMDA, cyber security, climate change and energy, infrastructure development. There, they had also discussed about the digital infrastructure principles, Quad ports for the future partnership, and then people to people Quad scholarship. So here what we can see that they had discussed on very terms, and here they had given special focus on the climate change, diaspora, education. So this thing are very much important. Now we'll come to the next one. Next one is about the 18th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention, and recently Ministry of External Affairs announced that 18th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention, and in Bhubaneswar 8th January to 10th January 2025 in collaboration with the government of Odisha, and theme, this is very much important, diaspora contribution to a Viksit Bharat. So Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention is a flagship event at the government of India, and it is an important event where diaspora from different countries can come and connect, and we can also maintain our diplomatic relation with other countries through our diaspora. So in the comment section, you have to tell me that when Bharatiya Pravasi Divas is being observed or celebrated. Now we'll come to the G7 summit. So recently G7 summit was organized in Borgo Ignazia Fasano in Apulia, Italy. So here you have to remember the country name. This is very much important. Italy from 13th to 15th June 2024. And this summit was organized on anniversary of the group, and India is not a member of G7. This is very much important because in prelims examination they can ask questions like that, whether India is an important member of G7 or not. So India is not a member of G7. So here you must know, but India participated as a guest in 2019, 2021, 2022 and G7 summits at the invitation of France, UK and Germany respectively. So different countries who held the summit in their countries, so they had invited India as a guest, but India is not a member of G7. So here we'll discuss briefly about the G7. So G7 is a group of advanced economies and developed economies, and who are the members of G7. This is very much important. France, Germany, Italy, United Kingdom, Japan and United States and Canada. So here you can also make a short form of it, but I'll repeat for you: France, Germany, Italy, United Kingdom, Japan, United States and Canada. So this is about the G7. So there are important events related to oil crisis 1973. So there are also genesis and very much history of G7. But for your information, you must know that these are the countries who are a part of G7, and they are the group of advanced and developed economies, and India is not a member of G7 group. Now we'll come to the next one. Next one is about 29th United Nations Climate Change Conference 2024. In short, COP29. So it was held in Baku, Azerbaijan from 11th November to 22nd November 2024, and it is also known as Finance COP because several discussion has been held related to the climate finance, mitigation and various things. So that's why it is called as a Finance COP. And what are the key decisions we have taken? So the key decision, so there was agreement on schemes to finance mitigation of climate change effects and help developing countries transition from what that they should transition from the fossil fuels to the more renewable and clean source of energy. So here we can see the brief about UNFCCC. So it is an international treaty which was established in 1992 to provide a framework for global climate negotiation, and currently there are 198 countries who are parties to UNFCCC, and which includes 197 countries and European Union. So European Union is a group of European countries. In the comment section, you have to tell me the European Union comprises how many countries. So now we'll come to the next one. Next one is about the Biodiversity Summit COP16 and 16th Conference of Parties to the Convention on Biological Diversity was concluded in Cali, Colombia, and India also launched revised National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan at COP16, aligning with Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. So this is very much important that from like where 16th conference of parties on the convention of biological diversity held. So it was held in Cali, Colombia, and India also launched its revised national biodiversity strategy and action plan. So here we can discuss that what are the important topics and important themes they had discussed. So they had discussed on permanent subsidy bodies, strategy for resource mobilization, national biodiversity targets, synthetic biology, invasion alien species, ecologically significant marine areas, and wildlife management Kali Fund. So here they had briefly and extensively discussed about the fund and how to take care of biological diversity, how to take care of the marine diversity, how pollution is impacting. So these are the important key areas where they had discussed. Now we'll have discussion on Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework, because on the line of that, India has also launched its biodiversity framework. So it is a multilateral treaty aimed at halting and reversing biodiversity loss globally by 2030. So this is very much important. It is aimed at halting and reversing biodiversity loss globally by 2030. So this year target is very much important, and it was adopted during the 15th Conference of Parties in December 2022, and which supports the sustainable development goals and builds on the achievement on the strategic plan of biodiversity 2011-2020, and it effectively restored at least 30% of degraded terrestrial, inland water and marine and coastal ecosystem by 2030. So what we here we can see that there was a plan in which there was a target year set, which was 2030, in which they had discussed, they had set the target that by this time they will reverse the biodiversity loss, which is very much important. So here we'll discuss about the Convention on Biological Diversity. So this convention was opened for the signature in 1992 at the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, Rio Earth Summit. So this is also, so during Rio Earth Summit, there was also discussion on biological diversity, and it came into force in 29 December 1993, and the first session was held into the Bahamas 1994, and its secretariat is Montreal, Canada. So here we can come to the next one, which is about the 23rd SCO, Council of Heads of Government. So External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar represented India at the 23rd meeting of SCO, Council of Heads Government in Islamabad, Pakistan on 16th October 2024. And his visit to Pakistan was in lots of discussion. So that's why this is very much important for your examination, because it was widely covered by various newspapers, and it was chaired by Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. And here we'll discuss about the SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So it is a permanent intergovernmental international organization established on 15th June 2001 in Shanghai, China by the Republic of Kazakhstan, People's Republic of China, Kyrgyz Republic, Russian Federation, and Republic of Tajikistan and Republic of Uzbekistan. So here there are most of the countries are from the Central Asia. So now we'll have discussion on that it has originated from Shanghai 5, and who are the members of Shanghai 5? China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan, and SCO has 10 full members: China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, India, Pakistan, Iran and Belarus. And Iran joined in 2023, and recent joining is Belarus. And there are two permanent bodies, the Secretariat based in Beijing and executive meeting the regional anti-terrorist structure in Tashkent. So this is very much important. Here these information are very much important for examination, because they can ask that which are the following countries are not the member of SCO and who are the full members and all. Then here we'll discuss about the 21st ASEAN India Summit 2024. So recently 21st ASEAN India Summit were held in Laos, Vientiane on 10th October, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi joined ASEAN leaders to review the progress of ASEAN-India Comprehensive Strategic Partnership, and this was the Prime Minister's 11th participation in the summit. And what was the theme of the summit? So theme was enhancing connectivity and resilience. So this is very much important. The theme is enhancing connectivity and resilience. So here we'll discuss the brief about the ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nation. It is a regional intergovernmental organization which was founded on the 8th August 1967 in Bangkok, Thailand, with the signing of ASEAN Declaration, Bangkok Declaration by ASEAN founding members. And which are the founding members of ASEAN? Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore and Thailand. And what's its objective? So its objective is to promote economic security cooperation among its 10 members. And here are the list of 10 members: Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, PDR, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand and Vietnam. So this is the objective, to promote economic and security cooperation. And what's its motto? So motto is one vision, one identity and one community, and where its secretariat is located. So it's located in Jakarta, Indonesia. Now we'll come to the next one, which is about the Semicon India 2024. So as the name suggests, Semicon is related to the semiconductor. So Prime Minister of India inaugurated the Semicon India 2024 at India Expo Mart, Greater Noida, Uttar Pradesh on 11 September 2024. And what was its theme? So its theme was shaping the semiconductor future. And what's its objective? So its objective is to make India a global hub for semiconductors, participation of top leadership of global semiconductors giants. So India is still dependent on to this thing. So that's why India is trying to be what you can say self-reliant and Atmanirbhar into the field of semiconductor, and co-located with Electronica and Productronica India. So this is about Semicon India. Now we'll come to the next one. So it has been the largest single event for electronics manufacturing in South Asia, and Semicon India 2025 is set to be conducted on the, so it has been held on 1st to 3rd September 2025 in New Delhi. So here we can see the vision: build a vibrant semiconductor and display, launch one in 2021. Nodal Ministry, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Financial outlay is 76,000 crore. And what are its components? Scheme for setting up semiconductor fabs, then scheme for setting up display fabs, scheme for setting up compound semiconductor silicon photonics and DLI scheme. So the government is planning to launch various scheme, and it has also launched in order to promote the semiconductor. So this is very important, and we have to remember the Semicon India 2024. And maybe there can be questions related to 2025, but there are chances that most of the questions will come from the Semicon India 2024. Now we'll come to the next one, which is about the second International Buddhist Media Conclave, and it was held on 11th September, New Delhi, organized by International Buddhist Confederation and Vivekananda International Foundation. And what's its objective? To foster ethical journalism. So what its objective? To foster ethical journalism. Right now India's condition in terms of media is deteriorating because of the lack of freedom in media, because of the misinformation, because of the disinformation. So that's why there is a requirement to promote ethical journalism and mindful communication, establish a network of Buddhist media and professionals across the Asia. And what's its theme? The theme is mindful communication for conflict avoidance and sustainable development. So this is for the Buddhist media, but this message is relevant for all over the media line of this country. Now we'll come to the Global India AI Summit 2024, and it was held on 3rd to 4th July 2024 in New Delhi, hosted by Government of India. And AI development in the areas like compute capacity, foundation models, data sets, application development, future skills and startup financing, and safe AI, which are the 7 key pillars of India AI mission. And also attended by Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence, and GPAI is a multi-stakeholder initiative with 29 member countries, and India is the lead chair of GPA in 2024. So here we can see that India is also progressive in terms of the AI, and it is working on its 7 pillars, and which are the startup, financing, safe AI, data sets, application development. Now we'll come to the G20 Summit 2024, and G20 Summit 2024 was held in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and it was hosted by Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. And in 2023, India hosted the summit, while the 2022 summit was held in Indonesia. So these information are also very much relevant for your examination. And it was G20 was founded in 1999 after the Asian financial crisis to discuss global economic and financial issues. There is no permanent secretariat for it, and there are currently 19 countries who are member, one European Union and one African Union. Permanent guest Spain. G20 summit takes place annually, and 2023 presidency theme One Earth, One Family and One Future. And Sherpas also tries to coordinate with different agendas. So there is an important role of Sherpas here, and it works on the Trioca principle. So the presidency is supported by Trioca. It means previous, current and incoming presidencies. So in the comment section, you have to tell me the Trioca of this time. Now we'll come to the 54th World Economic Forum Summit 2024. So it was held in Davos, Switzerland from 15th to 19th January 2024, and its theme was Rebuilding Trust. And here we'll discuss about the World Economic Forum. So it is a Swiss non-profit organization founded in 1971, which has headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland. And what are the major reports published by the World Economic Forum? Energy Transition Index, Global Competitiveness Report, Global IT Report, Global Gender Gap Report, Global Risk Report, Global Travel and Tourism Report. So in prelims examination, they can ask questions like this also, that which of the following reports are published by World Economic Forum, and so this is very much relevant for your prelims examination. So we'll have discussion on World Hydrogen Summit 2024 held in Rotterdam, Netherlands, and it is basically for the progress in green hydrogen. And for the first time, India has set up its own pavilion set up by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, one of the largest pavilions in Rotterdam, Netherlands. So here we can discuss the National Green Hydrogen Mission. The Rural Ministry is new and renewable energy components of the strategic intervention of green hydrogen transition program. And what are its objectives? Decarbonize energy, industrial mobility sector, develop indigenous manufacturing capacity, and create export opportunity for green hydrogen and its derivative. And India launched the National Green Hydrogen Mission in January 2023 with a budget of 19,744 crores. So here you have to remember and you have to know about this mission also. Now we'll come to the next one, which is about the 46th UNESCO World Heritage Committee session, which was hosted by India for the first time, held from 21st to 31st July 2024 at Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi, and it was organized by Archaeological Survey of India on the behalf of Ministry of Culture. And what are the logos? So it was inspired from World Heritage Site of Hampi, and tagline is Sah No Yasha, which means may our glory grow. And the tagline has been derived from the ancient Sanskrit scripture Taittiriya Upanishad, Sah No Yasha, and it has been taken from the Taittiriya Upanishad. So here we'll come to the summit of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, because NATO was in discussion because of various geopolitical tensions and geopolitical conflict. So held in America to celebrate its 75th anniversary, established on 4th April 1949, and it is an intergovernmental military alliance founded by North American and European countries, and originally it has 12 founding members: Belgium, Canada, Denmark, France, Iceland, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Norway, Portugal. United Kingdom and United States, and currently it has total 32 members. So here we can come to the Chief Science Advisor Roundtable 2024, held on 6 September 2024 at UNESCO headquarters in Paris, and it is a collaborative efforts between the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India and the natural science sector of UNESCO. And what's its objective? So its objective is enhancing the global science advisory mechanism. And what was its theme? Its theme was fostering open science, bridging knowledge, asymmetry, and building science advice capacity globally. This theme is little long. I'll repeat for you. Fostering open science, bridging knowledge, asymmetry, and building science advice capacity globally. So you have to remember the keywords: open science, knowledge, asymmetry, building science, and advice capacity globally. Now we'll come to the discussion of 7th Indian Ocean Conference. So the 7th edition held on 9th and 10th February 2024 in Perth, Australia, and it was organized in collaboration with the Australian Government Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade and S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies, Singapore, and Perth, US Asia Center. So these are the collaborators. And what's its theme? So theme is towards a stable and sustainable Indian Ocean. And External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar addressed the inaugural session of the conference. So here we can come to the another part, 19th NAM Summit. So India had a greater role in the NAM. So that's why it's very important to know. So it was held in January 2024 at Kampala, Uganda, and more than 120 developing countries participated in the summit. Indian delegation led by External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar participated. A theme: deepening cooperation for shared global affluence. I'll repeat for you. Theme: deepening cooperation for shared global affluence. Uganda is chairing the NAM group during the year 2024 and 2027, and summit adopted Kampala Declaration, in which they had condemned the military aggression, calling for the implementation of the UN Security Council resolution to allow humanitarian aid to the besieged Gaza Strip. So you already know that Palestine-Israel war is going on, and there was many instances in which many lines has been crossed, humanitarian lines has been crossed. So in order to bring peace, in order to bring more prosperity, such kind of summits are held. Now we'll come to the discussion on first nuclear energy summit. So it was held in Brussels, Belgium, co-chaired by the Belgian Prime Minister Alexander De Croo and International Atomic Energy Director General Rafael Mariano Grossi. And what's its objective? So its objective is to allow participating governments to present their strategies and plans for using nuclear energy to reach net zero emissions and promote sustainable development. So here there was a focus on net zero, sustainable development, and more than 30 countries including India and the European Union participated in the conference. So now we'll discuss on the 4th Global Renewable Energy Investors Meet and Expo, Reinvest in short, and it was inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Gandhinagar, Gujarat, and it brings together key stakeholders in renewable energy sector such as government officials, industry leaders, and investors. And it was organized by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy in collaboration with Confederation of Indian Industry. And first Reinvest India was held in 2015, second in 2018, and Reinvest India was held in 2020. Third. So what it shows that it is not an annual phenomena, but it has a greater focus on the energy and renewable energy. So here we can see briefly about the India's renewable energy target. So it has a target to achieve net zero emission by 2070, produce 5 million tons of green hydrogen by 2030, 57 solar parks aggregate capacity of 39.28 gigawatt, wind energy offshore target by 30 gigawatt by 2030. So these are the targets, and India is the world's third largest producer of the renewable energy. So this is the plan of India. Then we have India Digital Agri Conference 2024, and it was co-organized by Indian Chamber of Food and Agriculture and IIT Ropar TIFF Awadh in what you can say New Delhi. And what was its theme? Digital agriculture pathway to productivity and profitability. And the summit provides platform for policymakers, industry experts, entrepreneurs, academicians, researchers, and farmers to discuss the digital technologies such as AI, IoT, drones, and data analytics. So this is about the digital agri conference. It means that how AI can be brought to the agriculture and how it can helpful to the agriculture sector of this country. So here then we have Asia Clean Energy Summit 2024. So it was held in Singapore from 22nd to 24th October 2024. It is an annual conference and exhibition and part of Singapore International Energy Week, co-organized by the Energy Research Institute. And what's its objectives? Its objective is to shape sustainable future for the Asia Pacific region, focusing on the innovation solution to achieve net zero emissions in Asia. So here is the wrapping of this what you can say summit, and here in we have discussed a lot about the renewable energy, climate change, AI, because this year we had a lots of discussion on climate change, AI, science and technology. We do had also diplomatic summits, but what we can see that mainly focus was given on the renewable energy, climate change, because this is a burning issues and this is the need of an hour. So there are chances that they can ask so many questions related to this theme. So do revise this thing, and this is a very quick revision for your prelims examination. And the question for this session is pinned into the comment section, so you can answer the question. And I hope you like this session. If you have any queries related to this session, kindly ask in the comment section. Thank you. Have a nice day.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.